Hello everyone, welcome back to Season 9. Can you believe that? Season 9 of the Welsh Esports League. I am, of course, Jammer, and today we're joined by the lovely Muhcreedy. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm really looking forward to get back into a bit of CS2 action. CS2, sorry. Exactly where I started off a couple of years ago doing it with Group of Steve. Very excited to jump back into it today, Jammer. And Season 9, I mean, it's impressive that we've got this far, and I'm quite happy that we've got this kind of not tradition, but we've got this kind of stability that we keep in delivering the Welsh Esports League. I'm really excited to be brought on for this season for the CS side of things, and honestly, Jammer, you've done it before with these guys. I mean, you might have a bit more of an idea of what to expect in that regard.
Yeah. So we're going to be running for a few weeks of many different games. So if you're, interested in some other games, maybe some Valorant, FIFA, maybe. I don't remember all of the games, but there's a load of games. Pay attention to the Esports Wales socials and stuff like that. There's a load to get involved with, but for CS, it's going to be, I think, 4 weeks of games. We're starting off with best of ones in this kind of group stage format, and then we're going to roll into the playoffs towards the latter half of the season. So it's just a fun few weeks of CS, and you can see the groups popping up on your screens now. We have enough for 2 groups this season. So Group A, it's going to be the Robins, the SEA Dragons, and the Wolfhounds, and then Group B is the Goats, Pit Ponies, and Tribal Esports, who I think is new. Of course, as always, the teams are going to be a little bit different compared to last year, but there are some familiar faces that you might recognize if you've been keeping up with things. Muhcreedy, you've not been in CS for a while, but can you tell me maybe what your expectations are coming into the season? Because I've been here, I kind of know how things go. I'm curious to see what someone coming back into things is kind of hoping for this season.
I'm quite excited to see how teams will go into these games, and they'll kind of, like you say, these teams, they might have changed a little bit, but the kind of core is going to be there. They're still going to have a good understanding of each other. I'm expecting to see how they're going into the game and see what that really comes out of it. Starting things off, though, we are going to be heading to Nuke. This is a map that I do love. I really enjoy playing it. I love to see it as well. And we're going to kick things off with this knife round. This knife round, in case you don't know, in case you're brand new and taking a break for a while, is just to find out who gets the side start pick. And as you can see already, the CTs have a little bit stronger of a start, but it's a knife round. Well, it could really go anyway.
Yeah, there's always a chance. The 3-on-2, everyone's tagged down pretty low, but it does seem as though the SCA Dragons have taken a lead. It's just Tanner left alive. Yeah. 2 CTs left in front of them. I do not fancy his prospects, but it got close. Oh, that was interesting.
Yeah, it's never going to win. Never going to get both of them. You get one, but then immediately gets traded out. So that means that you are going to see SCA Dragons taking that first opportunity to decide which way they want to go, how they want to kind of take it moving forward. Because let's be honest, for those who may not understand, CS2 maps are sided one way or another. Nuke, I think that's more of a T-sided, I want to say. I'm probably not right on that one.
It's pretty 50-50 these days. I think the most T-sided maps are probably like Inferno. We took out the most T-sided map of Anubis a while back, so it's getting pretty even these days.
You know, I actually liked Anubis. I do like Ancient, but I did like Anubis. But we are going to be looking at starting things off. The pistol round is the most important one. A lot of teams can get a lot of momentum moving forward. If they do very well on this one, failing that, they might struggle. They might have to wait just a little bit to see what's going to happen. That is going to be our case if we just lost connection. So we're going to bring it back to ourselves a little bit. Now, that pistol round, like we say, get the strong round starting things off. You've pretty much got the next couple of rounds in the bag. The second round, almost definitely. The third round, maybe, as long as you're not silly with it, you should expect to win that one. So let's be honest, you expected a strong start on that.
Yeah, and I think it's a quite big deal that the SEA Dragons have got that start on the CT side, because if you are able to win that pistol round and build up a bit of economic, prowess, it will help spur you on for kind of the first half of things. So really big deal there. And of course, the SEA Dragons are the defending champions. I don't even think they've changed the player. So they're hoping to kind of come in, keep their form from last season and just kind of steamroll the competition. Whereas on the Robin side of things, we have seen a few mix-ups. I think Tanner has switched teams to come to this one, and I think the rest of the faces are pretty new. So we'll see. Maybe this new set of players can be something that can challenge the SEA Dragons. Of course, SEA Dragons are going undefeated last season, so we might, have a potential inkling as to who the favourites are, but I mean, it's all to play for, really. It's the first week of the season.
Yeah, a little bit of that underdog story coming out for the Robins. Like you said, the question is, are SEA Dragons going to be able to continue that strong momentum, keep that rolling in, and especially, like you said, get onto that CT side, get those first couple of rounds on the board, give them that mental boost and that financial boost when they start moving on to the later rounds and the Robins have the chance to catch up? Or is that pistol round going to go the other way? Are the Robins going to get that early advantage? Are they going to try and drive with it and really just make a strong start, make a strong showing for themselves? This is a best of one, so everything you do in this stage is final. There's not another map to kind of rely on. There's not a third map to just be like, okay, well, you know, we didn't win the first one, we won the second, let's bring it back. No, if you lose this, that's it, that's zilch. Because we are in that first week, like you say, only best of one so far while we look at the groups. And I feel like it's all to play for. Again, I don't know much about the teams, but that's what I find so exciting. It's the unknown element, not knowing how the teams are going to perform and seeing when the pressure does start to be applied, how are they going to react? How are they going to respond? I mean, from the impression you've given me of SEA Dragons, undefeated, returning champs, I'm expecting them to have grace under pressure. You know, I'm not expecting them to really get too flustered, especially in the early game, knowing that they can bring it back and they've got that potential to do so. That's for me. I mean, Nuke, like you say, it's a bit of 50-50. Do you have a prediction on where it might go, or do you see Robins maybe evening it out a little bit too much?
I mean, if I'm honest, I have to back the SEA Dragons. I think, you know, a map as kind of complicated with the rotations as Nuke is, you typically see the better team winning in these kinds of scenarios. And so I would be very surprised if the SDA Dragons lose this. Even if they lose the pistol round and kind of do fall behind in that economic situation, I still don't really see a world where they kind of lose this one. But yeah, it seems like we're struggling with some extended tech issues, so we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. If you're rushing here, maybe go get a drink, get refreshed, and hop back here for some exciting CS2 action. Hello, everyone. We're back. Apologies for the tech delay. It seems like the server crashed on us, so even even CS2 cannot handle the epicness of Well Season 9. So much so that we can't even get started. Yeah, so it just happened again from what what it looks like, and yeah, I don't know. It's maybe we need some fireworks in the server or something. Let it get excitement out, and then once things calm down, we can hop into the game.
I mean, I think I was going to go a different way for that. I think I was going to say, it seems like the server became the bonfire for bonfire night, but to each their own. Yeah, it looks like we're having a bit more technical issues trying to get back into this game. We might be setting into another break. I'm not too sure. We'll let you know once we do. But yeah, we're going to be heading to a break, so you got a little bit more time just to relax, get ready, and like Jammer said, if you've been rushing, just relax for a little, have a breather, and just sit back. We'll be back shortly.
Oh, we started. We're back.
We've done it.
Oh, okay. All right, CES time. Let's go. Pistol round. A very heavy push from the T's outside, and the smokes are down. It's a lot of commitment, but the rotation should be able to come in. And look at that damage, Muhcreedy. So much.
Yeah, but the thing is that USPS has got a slow fire rate, so Jesse might be able to catch one. They do, and will get the bomb as well. A huge kit pick, and there's Rizzy gets one as well. Jesse's going to find another. The USPS does manage to clean up the damage, coming in massively. I was going to say maybe it might still be in the Robins' favour, but no, that pistol round firmly in the favour of SCA Dragons. And Jamie, we've already talked about the importance of winning that opening round, and you can already see it by the equipment, by the weapons that have just been bought by SCA Dragons.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was a bit too telegraphed, a little bit too one-dimensional from the Robins, but even without a bomb plant, they're going all in this situation, maybe hoping they can catch some players without helmets.
That might be the case. A couple of them don't have it, like you say, and it looks like a bit of an aggressive push over towards ramp now. One frag grenade might do the damage, but Jesse with the M4 might also be able to do that. A lot quicker rate of fire than that USPS pistol, but the crossfire comes out, gets one, but gets traded out very quickly. Suddenly you see Zix as well coming down this ramp, tried to help out, catch him behind. Lucky guy gets taken down. Pink over there as well with the crossfire, will clean this up. And another quick round for SCA Dragons, only losing one player. But that M4 got taken down. If Robins stayed alive and they won that round, that'd be guns in their hands.
Yeah, it could have been something, but the confidence from the SCA Dragons to swarm and regroup together, not even giving Robins the opportunity to set up a site defense, pushing in before the bomb went down. So no hope there for the Robins, just investing some pistols, and this should be a quick 3-0 for the SCA Dragons.
Yeah, Robins, like you say now, they've kind of spent the money on the MAC-10s, they've bought the armor up, but realistically it just didn't work out. So now they're in a bit of a reset moment. Maybe looks like they're starting to slow things down. The rushes haven't really worked out for them. So just kind of probing a little bit, seeing what's out there. Question is, are they going to kind of run straight into SCA Dragons, or are they going... Oh, SCA Dragons going to get a little bit antsy and let them walk out. Pink able to find Caden, and Joey finding the new guy immediately gives him a two-player advantage. Joe K's nearby to try and help out, and the Deagle on Silo is looking to even the score, but isn't going to even land a single hit. The dude's that time ticks down. T's have to start moving. The nade pulls out, does the damage to Jokey, but doesn't get the kill. And with a minute left, it looks like we're going to have to go into that A side. Jesse gets aggressive. So does Zix, taking down two players. And now it's all down to Lanky with that Deagle up above. With the time not in their favour. They're going to have to make something happen. But at this point, you'd rather just save, wouldn't you?
Not given that opportunity, Zyrex will hunt them down to finish things off. And that is a very quick 3-0 for the SCA Dragons. But we should finally see the guns in the hands of the Robins. Straight onto the AWP from Tanner, so big green in play. It will be interesting to see how the teams approach this, because the AWP, very long-range weapon, can be very effective, but with no head armor, is susceptible to SMG pushes, especially in those close-range engagements. Yeah,
that's the thing. Like you say, the no head armor, it means when you look towards the weapons that SCA Dragons have got, they can get close, they can cause that damage, and with the smokes going out, it shuts down the lines of sight. You see the boosters go in there to give Turner that opportunity, but at the moment there's nothing to really see. Going outside that AWP, it's all you can really do with that. Gonna run right into Pink, who's waiting, finds one, looks for the second, gets it. The AK trades, but Joey's there to take down Tanner. The AWP is gone. It's all down to Lanky Guy and the new guy, but in this situation, they're stuck over towards Secret. They're isolated from each other. They don't really have much to do here. New guy gets taken down, and it's just a matter of time before you see Lanky Guy get taken down. A fourth round in favor of SCA Dragons there.
Yeah, I mean, I'll commend the Robins, you know, they went for some outside control, trying to get down to a secret, but again, just the SCA Dragons, so much confidence, swarming behind that, and there's layers to these plays, you know, you got Joey pushing through the smoke, you got rotations through secret from Pink, and they're just not expecting it, so tough start for the Robins. They're reinvesting again, they've got an AWP, but can they do anything with it?
Yeah, that loss bonus at a maximum now, which means they have the max amount of money they're going to get for that, which means if they realistically lose this round, that puts them back to zero. That AWP gets taken down immediately. That's going to be horrible. The shots ring out, but don't find the mark. That means Joke is still alive. They are still able to use that weapon, and they can have that further impact in the round. But like you say, no helmet on the AWP player yet again. 37 HP in pocket. They're not really going to want to be taking those gunfights. Robins still probing, not really committing too much. The AWP will get taken away eventually by Joey. The pre-frag is there with the AK, but that player's taken down outside. The AWP taken away, and again, Robins, they've really started to stall down here.
All out, but it's not over. 2 versus 3. Bomb's been spotted and the rotations are here. Zyrex is going very aggressive and the new guy will take advantage. Lanky can drop down with the bomb, and suddenly this is a situation that the Robins are throwing a spanner in the works, but Jesse's calmed the tides, and now a 2-on-1. It's not looking good. At least the bomb can get planted.
Exactly. The rotate going to come through straight away. SEA Dragons, they're going to know that that rotate happened. As soon as they got that player, they realized that's it. 12 HP and AK in a dream, just not going to happen. Lanky guy gets taken down by Jesse, and that is going to be a 5th round in favor of SEA Dragons. That was much better. That was a lot closer. I mean, that's the first time we've seen the bomb actually go down. But again, SEA Dragons, very commanding, very strong. And at least for the Robins, they got that little bit of money for, you know, the bomb going down. So now they can actually buy things up and really start to feel like they're getting somewhere. The big missing thing for me here, though, Jammer, is Joke. They're going to have to go with that shotgun because they bought 2 AWPs. They don't really have that money to spend.
Yeah, it's an interesting buy, especially on the T side. Auto shotguns bought on either side of the server, so really throwing the meta out the window for this round. We'll have to see how it plays out. I think the big thing is we've not seen a lot of upper pressure, but here we go. A straight push up towards the top side. Rizzy will shut things down towards the hut, but the door is where the action's at, and Pink has gotten 2, so not really any more hopes for the Robins. It was good at the start, but just can't close those kills.
Yeah, exactly. Tanner, the last player with that bomb, able to go downstairs if they want, but again, 4 players on the SEA Dragons side. A lot of utility committed, a lot of money spent into this round to try and get something out of it and try and get around to contest that 5-round lead that SEA Dragons have. But it's really not going to get anything from them. It might be worth a save, but they don't, because they don't really have that money to move into the next round. If they can get a plant down, that's even better, but then it does draw the attention of the CT side, which means as soon as that bomb goes down, Tanner has to be ready to take a gunfight. Looks like that's what they are going to do. They know that they're the position they're going to put themselves in, and SEA Dragons, as soon as they hear it go down, they're going to go for it. Pink isn't able to find the kill. The door just gets in the way, and now Tanner's able to find one, but can't find a second. And that's another round for SEA Dragons. Another bomb plant for Robins. We're slowly starting to creep up with what they're getting out of these rounds.
Yeah, that was, again, one of those contentious situations. You see the Robins trying to do something different at least, but ends up being nothing. I just think the utility, the confidence, and the team play from the SEA Dragons is just overwhelming for the Robins right now. And, you know, we talked about the economy game being so crucial on the CT side. The way that Robins have been playing has actually been affecting them more, and you can see a glass cannon from Tanner. So, not the best of prospects, but it can certainly do some damage if they can get him in a good spot.
Exactly, and that's what I love. I love a good glass cannon when it works, especially for a team that needs to try and find that energy to get back into the game. But then again, it can be the worst thing that could possibly happen to yourself. You have an AWP, you drop it, you bankrupt yourself in the case of Tanner, and then the other team possibly have it on the board. SEA Dragons, look at the money they've got. They're full buying every round. They have a shotgun, not because they have to, but because they want to. They can buy AWPs if they want to, and they might do that a little bit later, but for now, it ain't broken, don't fix it. Rizzy with a shotgun will move towards Joke with that AK, moving through the smoke slightly, but doesn't start that gunfight just yet. The push outside, Joey will find the first kill, moves upstairs to find this Tanner, but isn't going to be able to spot them just yet. The shot does ring out, but doesn't find its mark. Rizzy again ready to just jump out into that squeaky section. It feels like Robins have really been stalled out here. The nade from Joey, the AK from Zerix gets the kills. And now as Joke has to push forward, Robins need to make something happen. They found Rizzy, found a kill. That's your entryway. You can start moving forward. The time ticking down, they've decided to rotate. But they go straight to Jesse, who finds one, nearly gets the second. Isn't able to find Jesse. He isn't able to find Joke, who finds that kill. Rotating again, but Zerix is read into it. And that is another round for SEA Dragons. Robins, what do we need to do to fix this?
That is the ultimate question. You know, I would even be tempted to just call a timeout. You know, you're 7-0 down. There's not really been any consistent way for you to get into these rounds. You know, sure, you've had, 2 bomb plants, but is that really even enough to give you confidence to go for these rounds? Caden having a rough start of things, 0-0-7, James Bond, but Yeah, that's a real question. What can they do to even get their foot in the door at this point?
Yep. Financial deficit, kill deficit, ground deficit. At the moment, it feels like SEA Dragons, they're undefeated in that last season of Season 8, like you said. Looks like they're going to try and continue that now. And you can tell by the way that they're playing, the way that they're positioned, they're confident, they're aggressive, but they're not reckless. They're positioning themselves ready for gunfights they know they're going to have to take. But they're not over-peaking, they're not over-swinging, they're not giving away anything more than they have to. One nade goes out, does damage to 3 players. Yes, Jesse might get overwhelmed, but these AKs over on ramp, so they go just pull back. They call the rotation over, and that shotgun is going over towards that glass area. Lanky and Jesse both find a kill. Rizzy has an answer on Takeda, but doesn't find any more. That means as time ticks down, 3 attackers of this T side on the board. Joey finding one, Rizzy denying the plan. Joke all on their own, but the AK will find Zerix over towards the ramp. But with a minute left on the clock, not knowing that Pink's behind them, it's just not meant to be. Another round for SEA Dragons.
Yeah, I've got to say, you know, the SEA Dragons, they're playing these timings so well. So whenever they figure out what the Robins are doing, they're so quick on the rotations, but they're not overzealous with the pushes, like you said. They're not reckless. And so you can see the layers to their retakes. Even though Pink is there with his teammate, is not instantly giving up that information and just doesn't let Joker even get an attempt at the clutch. So really well played from the SEA Dragons. The Robins, you know, they're, you know, trying to mix things up, commending them for that, but it really has been a bit too one-dimensional so far, I've got to say.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of utility investment on the side of Robins. They've not really taken around to say we need to just have an eco, slow things down. They keep buying things. I feel like that might be something that's really hindering them, because when they're going into these gunfights, SEA Dragons, they've got the weapons, they've got the knowledge, they've got the utility, and as you can see, they are just cleaning things up. Robins don't really seem to have an answer, and as I explain that, they're going to lose another round. I feel like they need to, at least at this point, they need to just say, Eco, we need to at least give us an opportunity for the next round. Let's think ahead a little bit. Again, that loss bonus at that maximum, they can't earn more from losing unless they get the bomb down. But the way SEA Dragons have been, they're not really going to let that happen. I think the kills as well is something I want to point out for this one, Jamo. The Robins really haven't seemed to wake up. They get a one kill, but they're instantly being traded out, aren't they?
Yeah, it's very much a case of the SEA Dragons just winning all their gunfights, at least it seems that way. And, you know, I think that's to be expected in this kind of a matchup. You know, Robins are a new team, at least, you know, this mix of players is new. And the SEA Dragons, defending champions, all the same 5 players. They've got their rotations. They know how to play this map. And I did talk about how it's so technically hard. And you can kind of just see the Robins a little bit outclassed. But it's sometimes just how the cookie crumbles. And when they're coming up against the defending champions, sometimes you've got to limit your expectations and just take it as the learning opportunity it is.
Exactly, because this isn't a one-off tournament. This is a league, and this is only played day 1 on the CSGO side. Jesse and Pink will be making their names known as they get those kills. Tanner has Joey on the outside, but as they try to rotate through to A main, will be picked off by the shotgun. Lanky Guy and New Guy have to play together here, but Lanky Guy gets taken down. And now you can see SEA Dragons, they have the bomb, they're just gonna hold position. They don't need to overextend, they don't have to give kills away, but when they've got a 3-player advantage, they might as well. Jesse does get taken down. Rizzy tries to get the flashbang through Squeaky, but can't make it happen. Gives it away where they're playing. Will nearly get flashed again. And the New Guy with 30 seconds left is just going to hope to try and get a couple of picks here, put a dent in the economy, and make SEA Dragons buy some guns next round, buy some equipment, rather than just carrying on each round.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, just looking at the economic situation, the SEA Dragons pretty much can just buy it for the rest of this half. So, New Guy may be trying to build up some confidence. They won't be able to buy an AK if they do lose it, so fair play to them for saving in this situation. But yeah, it's a pretty bleak situation, so we'll take any silver lining that you can get. And for the New Guy, that means bringing an AK into one of the final rounds of the half.
Yeah, and I think that's the most important bit, is at least giving yourselves the opportunity. I know the New Guy hasn't really been able to step up much, neither of the rest of the Robins. They've not really been given much breathing room from the SEA Dragons. That has been, like you say, the coordination, they know the rotations, so they very much smothered the Robins and kind of kept them on the ground, kept them grounded. Yeah, there you go. Does anyone need a USPS? I think we can get one.
Yeah, there might be one spare. Just one, though.
Just one, yeah. Like you say, though, it doesn't matter because Vizzy, they have no money now, but the rest of the team can just full buy for them. It doesn't matter that much. Taking a timeout, is it a little bit too late? Possibly. That's 10 rounds on the CT side. We talked about how taking that CT side can be seen as the better option to kind of get that early start and early momentum in.
Yeah. I mean, any case, at least taking a timeout shows that you have that capability. It can remind you that you can do it in the future. And like I said, it's one of those situations where you just kind of take the learning opportunities as they come, limit your expectations, and see what you can get. So going for it in this situation, popping the smoke, and Zyrex is so strong on top of this hut. Communication's not even been passed along, so been disregarded, and by the time they realize, the rest of the team is rotated in and Pink will close out with 2. So that's 11 to the Sea Dragons. Now, I'm going to potentially cast curse this, but are we going to see the first game of the season be a 13-0, Muhcreedy? Yes or no?
I'm not saying it. I'm not tempted to say it. I know you just did, but I actually want to talk about that last round. I like that a lot more from the Robins. That did seem to be a lot more coordinated. They coordinated with the utility. They pushed in, they had the refrags, the communication was there. That player on Hut got a kill, instantly refragged. Yes, they did lose that round, they did only get a couple of kills in that round, but they got a lot more map control with a lot less spent to get it. Because every little thing you do as an attacker, you spend something to get something. The same as defense, you spend something to deny it and waste time. Robins, that was much better. That was a much nicer round. I want to see a bit more of that. Maybe that timeout was just slow down, play together. But with the equipment, it's going to be a very tall order indeed. 4 AKs, 1 MAC-10, and with Tanner outside, not going to be able to put it to use. And that's going to be another one tap from Joey. Very nice shot there. Rizzy with the shotgun, ready for the player going towards Squeaky. Puts their bullet in the head of Caden, and now we are seeing ourselves Lanky Guy down in Hut. Possibly going to look at rotating over towards B, but we've got to be aware of these players flanking. They've done it every round. You've got to be ready for Jesse just to be walking over towards that trophy side, looking for that kill just to put this round to bed, and put this half to bed as well. Almost a flawless CT side, unless Lanky Guy has something massive here, Jammer. That's what it's going to be.
Yeah, we are trending in that direction. At least Rizzy's having fun in the server, just testing their movement out, and just being an absolute nuisance, honestly.
He's going for a TK last round. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, he's doing it a couple rounds in a row at this point. So yeah, I guess. I guess for any other teams, keeping an eye out. If you're going down very heavy, maybe target Rizzy, and that'll be a winning formula for you. But it seems as though it's going to be a 12-0 towards the end of the half for this nuke matchup, and it's yet to be seen whether it's going to be a 13-0.
Yeah, Zerik's able to find that all-important kill at the end there, but not going to have enough to change the impact of that round. Looks like you say, 12-0 for SEA Dragons. Very commanding, very dominating, but now they're going to have to change up the pace. Instead of being the person that the Robins have to run towards, they are now the team that are going to have to do the rushing. They're going to have to do the pushes. They're going to have that coordination. You can get a really good feel for a team just after one half, but to really understand how good they are, you need to see both sides. Yes, they can sit there and shoot the attackers who come to them. Can they do the opposite? Can they push? Can they be aggressive? Do they have that coordination when things are going wrong for them? Let's find out. This pistol round, very important. We talked about it, the impact it can have. Zerik's able to find one kill outside. Looking for his second, isn't able to find it, but that control over towards that windows has already started to be taking place. That Heaven player is going to be ostracized very, very quickly, and if they drop down, they might just get killed. It's going to be Jesse with the jump burst shot, though, finding Tanner, and now 2 defenders to deal with these terrorist attackers. One goes down on A. New guy has an answer, gets a kill. Rizzy gets a second, and now it's a 1 versus 3. Finding the new guy on staircase, Joey will get that pick, and Rizzy has decided to leave. A 13-0. You kind of expected to see it, but for the Robins, there's a lot to work with there. There were good rounds in that, and while SEA Dragons, they played it very, very strongly, they played it very commandingly, there's a lot to take away for both teams here, I think.
That's one way to put it. A 13-0 is a 13-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I think most of the games for the SEA Dragons went like that last season. So, yeah, I don't think we actually got to see any of them apart from the final, which was actually a closer matchup. So, yeah, I guess half the course for the first match of the season, especially when the SEA Dragons are concerned. But hopefully, the next game should be a bit more of a barn burner. It's going to be, actually, let me double check. Okay, yeah, it's the Goats versus Tribal Esports. So this should be a bit of a closer game, at least looking at the players and looking at how they did last season. So if you weren't entertained by a 30-0, stick around because there's more CS2 action to go. I believe we're going to take a short break and we should be back at the turn of the hour. So don't go anywhere. We should have some more CS action for your viewing pleasure. Hello everyone, I hope you enjoyed that brief break, and we are back for some more Counter-Strike action. Muhcreedy, we watched a little bit of an interesting game for the first one. I will kind of set up your expectations a little bit and say that this one should be a better game, but in any case, what do you reckon of the first map?
I think Overpass, it doesn't necessarily have that 50-50 balance from what I'm aware of. I feel like it's a map that, yeah, you're really going to start to see teams, like, this is knowing nothing about the teams that you're about to watch, you are going to see different things being tested at different points for parts of the team. So the attackers, how can they go for that early gunfight? How can they capitalize upon opportunities? How do they deal with things when things go wrong? Whereas with the defense, I think, you're looking more towards stuff like, well, how are they able to read the other team? Do they rotate when they feel a bit of pressure on one side, or do they just hold it out and wait and see what's going on? Do they kind of commit fully? Because it is a very heavy commit once you make a decision to rotate. It's a long process to get back to that other side. So I feel like these teams are going to see different things as opposed to can they hit heads, and that's what I'm quite looking forward to seeing.
Yeah. I mean, Overpass, you've said historically it's very CT-sided. I think it's still the case in this newest version, but you are seeing new meta starting to develop and form. But I think it really hinges on kind of two areas of the map, and that's short kind of canal area on B and the toilets towards A. Those are the two critical areas in my mind that the T side needs to get control of to kind of at least threaten the CT side and give themselves avenues to rotate between the sites. So it'll be interesting to see how the teams approach this one, whether they're sending two Ts towards short B side to try and get that water control very early, whether they're taking 4 people towards bathrooms and trying to take that advantage very early. It's very much a methodical kind of game, and it's not as reliant on the CT rotates being complicated. So it should be an interesting game either way, and we're going to of course start with the knife round.
Yeah, exactly. Again, the knife round just to figure out who's going to get that side pick before going to the pistol rounds. A little bit of surprise as they realise there is a pistol round. So we're going to see that starting things off. Again, it's nothing... I want to say it's nothing too serious. It doesn't look serious, but for these teams it can be quite important. Opening game of Season 9 for themselves in their group, and now they're deciding how they want to start it. Do they want to get that more advantageous side, start things off, get those early rounds on the board, or do they want to say, right, we'll just get the harder part out the way, let's just get that done? And that is going to be the side of, there we go, Tribal Esports. They get to decide which way they want to go. They've decided to stay as they are, keep on that CT side. Or the GOATs, sorry, that's my bad.
Yeah, no, it's HUD updating issues. In any case, it's pistol round, and CT side, it is the advantageous side for this matchup, but if you're able to pick up the pistol round on the T side, it can set you up really well for success, harkening back to those economic question marks that we raised all the way at the start of Nuke. It does look like we're going for a heavy B push though, and I'm not sure if the CT side is expecting this. The rotation's coming in late, and all the action is coming out of Monster. Ragoon with an opener, instantly traded, but Alexis is there to support, and the rotations are coming through. The T side is not getting a lot of control, gingerly walking their way up, trying not to lose players, and that's going to be a kill from one of them, but the bomb's not gone down. They still need to get site control, and the wrap is coming through. It's awkward, and it's all left onto their green player.
Yeah, that green player sat in there, different angles to be held, don't have the bomb in pocket, but with that Glock they are able to find Kian. Now in the 1 versus 1, the USPS will do that damage. It's got the slow rate of fire, and it's going to do exactly that. Stops that plant from going down, stops the T side from getting it down. Nearly would have been an ace for the green player of Tribal Esports, but just not going to be in that situation. The USPS, it's got those long range advantages, and I feel like that's where we really saw GOATs just take advantage of it. They just said, right, we don't need to get up close. They need to come to us. So just pick them off while they do. That's exactly what they did. They did it very, very nicely, and they get that first round on the board. Tribal Esports going to stick with the pistols for this time. Just say, right, knuckle down, get this round out of the way, then we can buy on the next one. Hopefully pick up AKs, a bit of armor, and maybe a bit of util as well. The question is, are they going to go for a fast round, or are they going to try and do something a little bit slower, try and focus, try and probe a little bit maybe?
Yeah, it seems as though they're just trying to expend some of the utility from the CT side, just to make them spend a bit extra cash. And the exchange of bullets is fairly one-sided towards the CT side. Alexis going again with a flashbang, expecting a few more players, but that'll farm up a bit of money, and that should help things moving forward. We've got the Australia stack at the bottom of the ladder as well.
Yeah, now, you see, like you say, the utility has been used. They've spotted them at the bomb. It's there in Sully's hands. The player that was carrying it has been taken down. All 5 players there, and it looks like Goats are aware of this. They find Skinwalker. Are they aware of the other 2? No, they are, but they are going to clean them out. Very nicely timed. Very good swing. They were able to find all 3 players with only 1 CT player getting taken down. That's the 3rd round on the board for them. They can get that 4-buy in their pocket. In Tribal, they're just going to have to buy what they can, get the AK, get the armor, maybe get a couple of grenades, and then this is a must-win round for them because it gives them that momentum then moving forward.
Yeah, good start, but a lot of MP9s in for this gun round. It's not going to match up well against the AKs. We'll see if Tribal can get their foot in the door. Unlike what we saw last map, they definitely have a strong advantage in this situation.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see how they deal with it. The utility is being used. They've got the flashes, they've got the smokes to give themselves the opportunity to move forward, but that might actually play into the CT side a little bit more. Like them get close with those MP9s. Dragoon and Spongy each getting a kill. Spongy has to look for another one, but again, they're up against the AK. The frag grenade goes out, the smoke covers their backup, but the T side have rotated off. Morai is able to find Dragoon, and now over towards this picnic area. That's where that last gunfight is really going to take place. Is the round going to go in the favor of CT again, or are we going to see Tribal start to make something get around on the board? It's not going to be Morai who does it. Is Alexis takes that kill, finds their bed, and just gets a little bit less amount of damage in. Nadia finding the back of one over towards Park, picks up the AK, but isn't aware of the other player over towards that fountain side. Looking towards Long, very, very cautious. And now the question is Sully going to try and get aggressive? Oh, the timing. They get caught with their hands down their trousers as Sully just goes to the jump, finds that kill, and puts us in a 3 versus 1. Time again in favour of the CTs here, and they need to just wait for this player to come by. So as long as they play the numbers game, Jammer, this is a round for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Bomb down in a pretty exposed position as well. Sully is going to have to fight multiple players at the same time just to retrieve it, and they are not going to come out on top in any of those engagements. So quick 3-0 for the Goats. That was Tribal? I forget which way, if it's meant to be swapped. Anyway, quick 3-0 for the CT side. And yeah, it doesn't seem like Tribal have been able to get anything done with the AKs, which is unfortunate. And now the prospects are getting worse. There's an AWP in the server. Iore Spongy, we saw doing great work with the MP9 towards Long. If they're going to be laying down the law with the big green in bathrooms, then it's a worrying prospect. Yeah,
very confident with those angles that they were taking, even at that close range with that MP9. So with that up, probably expecting to do a little bit something similar. The flashdown comes out towards Monster, does blind Kian, who gives away the information, but the players are over towards Walter. Nadia, aware of this, will go for the swing, but Morai gets taken down by the Mac 10. Skinwalker finds Alexis as well. That orb's taken down, and while Kian does have Morai, they are very low HP over towards barrels. One frag grenade would take them out. Luckily, that's something Tribal do not have in a large supply. Kian finds the head of Metros. The 1 HP hero will find another kill, and now Ragoon ready for the flank, will give away their position, will get traded out if they are at least able to find one player. The frag grenade goes down, opens that door, and Spongy picking up the orb will find the green player on that boost. Now it's just down to Sully and Skinwalker. They need to get some momentum to move out, and they've decided that Ragoon cannot be allowed to be a problem, and they just go sit there with the Negav. Eventually has to reload though. The curse of a magazine, as that LMG finally does run out of bullets. Now they're going to have to deal with Kian. Low damage, so a good pre-fire might be able to take out this player. But as Ragoon tries to get another kill, it'll take a bit of time, but they find him. Kian spotting that last player, closes out another round for the side of the Goats and Tribal Esports. This is where they've got some money in the pocket. They can go for that full buy now. Let's see if they've really got the opportunity to make something happen.
Yeah, man, that was such an awkward round. You know, Kian just staying alive on the back of
Yeah.
site for so long is such a problem, and that's where Tribal hesitate moving in. I think if they all just push together, they overwhelm the site, they at least get a bomb down and maybe a hope at winning the round. But Kian staying alive so long, taking scalps with them, it's just too hard to handle.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there just wasn't enough utility to get them out of that position, because if they had the nades, if they had a flashbang, then they could do exactly that. Kian will go back to their position where they were ready just to take heads, take buckets, and now it's going to be Alexis and Nadia really who have to focus on these water players. They know that they're there, the audio cues have been given, and the frag grenade will lead things out.
Oh,
Spot
no.
the triple boost, Nadia goes for the kill, but the swing comes out. A beautiful bit of coordination as Metros takes down that player, and it means only one player on each side has fallen so far. Alexis has an answer, gets one, gets two, looks for a third, they're able to find it, and now it's down to the scout over by Pipes. I really don't think this is going to happen. They're just going to sit there, try and get a couple of free kills, and as they get one, Kian is not going to get the shots. We'll find it eventually, though. Very, very well played. A huge flank from Alexis coming out.
Yeah, really impactful play from Connector there. And again, you're seeing Tribal Esports, they're doing something. They're trying to get out there, but it's just shut down by these flanks and these good positioning from the CT side.
I feel so bad for the side of Tribal. If Nadia was taken out a little bit earlier, they really had a good opportunity. They made themselves clear. They knew that they were giving the position away, but they were trying to play the numbers game. They were trying to draw a couple of players out, but they're just being picked up one by one by just one player being able to land those shots, and it's something that's just not working out for Tribal. Gonna have to try something else, but they will find Spongy with the AWP over towards Long. Maroy realizes, let's probably not peek that. So we're gonna rotate around and start looking towards Picnic. But this does mean that they are gonna go right into the hands of Ragoon, caught with a nade in his hands. Will possibly look to get that frag grenade, do a little bit of damage. Spots a green player, doesn't do any damage with that now. Just taking their time. They don't need to push. Tribal, they need to start moving forward. They are going to contest this AWP. They are going to try and find a pick, but as Spongy misses the shot, that means that they're going to get a little bit of ground if they want to push up using it. That's not going to be the case, though, as the Green finds one, looks for a second, finds the head of Metros as well, but it's going to be Kian that finds them. And now the crossfire is right there.
Man, what a sudden dismantlement of this T side. You can see what they're going for. You know, they're trying to go for that bathrooms control, show a bit of presence towards A, but without the utility and without the team play to trade off each other, it just kind of falls apart when the individual fights happen. So Tribal Esports looking a little bit shell-shocked right now as the GOATs, you know, it's not been the cleanest of games, but it definitely looked the more coordinated and stronger team.
Yeah, now Skinwalker giving away their position over towards that park side. They've got a kill off the back. They've taken away finance and utility off of one player, but it's going to be Ragoon to clean things up. Goats again picking up another round very, very comfortably. I think it's not necessarily smothering or dominating like we may have seen in the 13-0, but that was a comfortable round for them. They got the opening pick over towards Long. They had the players ready nearby over towards that toilet side, over towards mid. They were ready to rotate if they had to. They didn't feel like they really had to expend much to get that round one. Yeah, they've lost a player, they've had to spend a little bit of money getting stuff back, but the economy's really not hurt at all. Like, they're doing pretty fine.
Yeah, this is a weird nade set from Alexis. I wonder if it's kind of throwing Tribal off. I know in my matchups, if there's, you know, util sets that I'm not sure what they're throwing or why, it can throw off my game and lead to some weird situations. But okay, we've got some openings for Tribal. It's not going to lead to anything as Kian, the safest pair of hands, will shut down the B aggress. But there's a few more players to find, and if a few more individual fights go towards Tribal, then we might see an opening. Oh, okay, that's rough.
Oh, the R8 though, over towards that mid side. You are going to see Green picking up that AK, which means they have an opportunity to contest. But with the Molly going down with a minute left on the round, there's a lot of valuable time that's being wasted. Most importantly, that's valuable time for the rotate to come out for Goats. They still have that up, that's still playing over towards A side, so that they don't give everything away, but that's still one player on site. Metro's looking to push, will get taken down, and now Skinwalker and Green all alone over towards this water side will just have to wait. Again, try and pick some players off. The bomb's not in their control, so they're going to walk up for it, won't be able to pick it up, and now it's all down to that scout, which it's really not going to happen. They just got to save it. necessarily a scout. It's not the most expensive weapon. They don't have much, but they don't have much in the pockets. They probably will want to keep at least that and the flashbang and the armor and helmet that they bought as well. 20 seconds to get down. Tribal not going to go for this one.
Yeah, unfortunate situation for Travel Esports. I am announcing my bias willing of Tribal Esports to win just because Alexis used the wrong form of Yor. So,
ooh, that's not good. That's not good.
Come on, Wales, you can do better than that. Anyway, 7-0 as we move past the halfway mark of the first half of play, and I've got to give a commendation to Kian. Yeah, pulling up the scoreboard, 11-2. Like I said, the safest pair of hands on the server right now. They have been so dependable on that B site, and that's often the site that's most susceptible to those rushes. So fair play to Kian for standing up tall when needed, and the rest of the team are kind of happy and willing to be carried forward by that momentum.
That's the thing. I really like that they've got Nadia and Kian just working together. They clearly know what each other needs of the other player, so that Kian can focus on that monster side. They can focus over the water pipes, and then Nadia knows that they need to be aware of the water push. They need to be ready for this. But very aggressive setup over towards that A side. It looks like the goats have read into it, and the AK will be the first one to try and find that shot. Ragoon doesn't find it. The smoke goes out, and it means they can start playing close. The negative on green starts moving forward, but Spongy gets the first kill on the AWP. The refract does come out with the negative. You can't be losing that. And now suddenly, Tribal, they have an opportunity to push forward. They can move towards that long. They can move towards the point, but they still have the AWP to go forward too. Possibly what the negative still, it's there to distract them, but that's going to be one taken down. 3 more remain on the boards. The Skinwalker has to fall. Utility still there as well, pushing up close. The Molotovs, the frag grenades, they're going to do a lot of damage. And as the push comes through, the bomb goes down. It's mollied off as well. And now Sully and Moroi both have negatives. They both have an advantage against that AWP player as long as they're firing first. That's going to be Sully taken down by Kian. A good round, a good opportunity, but it isn't meant to be. Going around to the bathroom, Moroi finds Kian. And Nadja finds Moroi.
That is one of the most unserious rounds of CS, and also one of the funniest. I love that from Travel Esports, you know, just committing to the full Negev, and they're doing it again. Why not? If it's... I don't even know what the game plan is here. I guess they're just trying to go for the moral victory or something.
AK. The negative could be a budget P90.
Okay, I'll take your word.
Yeah. I mean, it does have a lot of commanding presence. It does make that AWP player think twice about peeking it. With an AK, you could get that one tap, but with an AWP, it could slow things down. So if you're wanting to hold that long angle, probably not going to if you know that negative is firing. Like you see right now, Metro looking over towards that picnic side, giving away the position, but with a gun like a negative, you're always going to. Alexis will be the first one to find a kill, takes away the green player. Spongy with the AWP finds Skinwalker, who wasn't following the first rule of what I given, which is fire before the AWP. The AWP will not want to peek, so that flashbang goes out, finds Sully though with that AWP, and now Metro's ready to get that kill. But it's going to be Spongy. He peeks it anyway. He gets a kill. Moroi finds Alexis. But now they are all on their own. Again over towards bathroom. Again in a huge CT advantage. And with 1 minute left on the board, they either have to push A or rotate. No matter what they do, they are going to get picked up by one of the CT players now. Spongy not wasting any time. A 4K to start things off and give them a 9th round to win.
Yeah, I think, you know, we saw a turning point in the buys from Tribal Esports at 6-0, and I think from that point they just kind of resigned themselves to the fact that they had lost hope in some facet, and so it's ended up in the situation you see before you. So unfortunately, it's the Tribal Esports kind of forfeiting their attempts, but yeah, it's entertaining CS nonetheless.
But the thing is, it's not like they're not winning gunfights. It's not like they're not making opportunities. They're pushing in now. They're using their numbers advantage to get that opening. They find the first couple of players. They get in the trades, and now it's a 3 versus 3 over towards B. Yes, it may feel a lot less serious, but it does work. They're focusing on enjoying the game, and right now, that plank going down, that's the first time they've been able to do it. And look at this. Moroi has gone on the hunt. They're in a position where they feel like they can do exactly that. Skinwalker finding Alexis, and Ragoon is going to put Spongy on their own. Now they can go to try and get a gunfight. They can try and go for the clutch. However, they have an AWP, they have utility. That's a dent in the economy at the very least. It's not that big of a problem for the side of Goats, but 9-0, they could probably afford to just let Tribal have a round. Let them have something. And as Muhcreedy moves forward, they are going to get closer towards Sponge, try and get that kill, try and stop that player from staying alive, but no, that's Muhcreedy going to lose the AK there.
Tribal Esports saying no one wins 10 rounds in a row against us. And
yeah,
hopefully...
That's the GG in chat. You can see it right there. The green has decided that they've won.
I mean, how much more competitive can you get from a 9-0? So silver linings, it's not going to be 13-0. This is definitely absolutely more balanced and contentious than the last game. I will hear nothing else from anyone.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong. It is a little tighter than that last game we saw. Now, that's the most important thing for this, is it's got to put a little bit of momentum, a little bit of motivation back in for Tribal Esports. Metro's very confident, peek in the bathroom, does get taken down. As we can see, Spongy's move from long towards that bathroom side, which means Alexis down towards the sewer is able to find the one kill, but runs out of bullets. The M4A1S, that curse of having less ammunition, doing them the dirty there. They get taken down by Alexis, by Green, who can get another weapon. As Muhcreedy finds Nadia as well, it looks like Tribal have turned the switch here. They're feeling confident, they're feeling good, and they are winning some of these gunfights. A 3 versus 3, no doubt the round isn't won just yet, but now they have a good opportunity. They've left that sewer, they can start moving towards A, but Spongy's clocked in. They've realised what's going to happen, and now they're looking towards that connector side.
Yeah, it's a weird split here from Tribal, trying to prop both sites at the same time, and it's a really awkward situation, but it can fall in their favour. Kian, though, so dependable, not going to go down, and most of the hopes of this round have looked to have been fallen, but they've snuck past Yori Spongy with 35 seconds left. They have full site control, but they won't be aware of that fact as they creep up, and their flank have become the flanked. In this situation, doesn't seem like Skinwalker's aware of the situation, and they're going to get taken down in the back. 20 seconds as Green is left on their lonesome, just trying to get anything they can. Scraps in this situation. It's going to be a 10-1 scoreline moving forward, and they weren't able to capitalize the second round in a row, but they were able to get some kills. Silver lining.
The question mark on kills is what worries me. No, yeah, they played it. That was a good round. Again, they were feeling a lot more confident. The gunfights they took, they were feeling more confident. So they were saying, right, okay, yes, Metro's died straight away, but they were taking that gunfight. They were feeling, you could tell there's a bit of pep in the step. They did get those kills. They did nearly get that when they were able to rotate over towards A. They nearly got that plant down. It was just one corner they didn't check, one little angle they didn't think of. That's what really messed them up there, even though they knew that that area did have some pressure towards. I like to see Tribal start to move on from this. Yes, 10 rounds have gone, there's a 9-round deficit. However, that doesn't mean it's all over. They know that Orc's going to be playing over towards long, and that is exactly the one who's going to find the first kill. Takes away that green player and keeps that advantage for Goats, but that doesn't mean everything is more. He's able to find a refrag. Takes away Alexis down over towards the sewers. And now the audio comes through. Ragoon gives away their position over towards bathroom. They might have had a good opportunity for a flank, but it's going to be Spongy finding Metros, keeping Ragoon alive. And now while they push over towards that A site, they don't know about that player in bathroom, from what I can tell from the positioning. So they're going to push onto A. There we go, Muhcreedy finding Spongy. Ragoon goes for that flank. They don't know about the green player. They don't know about them. The AWP pushes forward, gives away the player there. But it's going to be Skinwalker coming up those stairs with that bomb, heading over towards A. Kian, the dependable, like you say, is rotating to help things out, but a 3 versus 2 scoreline. Tribal have to make this push now.
It's now or never, Tribal Esports. Sully, Skinwalker, Muhcreedy. Write these names in the history books, because they're about to put a second round on the board to close out the half. Skinwalker pushing, trying to get some advantages, and it's going to fall to Kian, but I've already said it. It's in the history books. There's no way they lose this round. There's no way it falls and crumbles. It's going to be 11-1 at the end of the half. The Goats standing so strong. I think, we've got to commend them on their team play, on their ability to adapt, and just the dependability of their players to hit the shots when they need to. Tribal Esports, they're feeling something. Maybe they're the ones turning to us and saying, "Are you feeling now, Mr. Krabs?" I'm certainly feeling like we should get some more kills, but we'll see.
Again, I won't lie. I'm liking what Tribal are doing. It just seems to be they've worked out some of the kind of core issues towards the start of a round. It's just when we come to the end of the round, what can go wrong? If you're on that CT side, what are you thinking about doing? What are you looking to change up so that you can bring it back, so that you can try and make a clutch? You can see, though, the side of Goats, they do have that coordination. They have that knowledge, that understanding of what's needed of them, what can go wrong, and how to deal with it when it does. Now, though, we have got that side swap. Going over towards Long is going to be Tribal. Leroy spotting those 5 players in bathroom, but they're going to decide with the Glocks, with the numbers, with the Tech-9, they get the kill. Push forward. And now the attackers, the defenders side of Tribal, are just going to hold position. The rotate comes out from Goats. They know it's happening. Look at that, though. It's the rotations that we talked about. It can take time, and the CT have to be 100% certain when they do. Green spots the player of Purple. Looks like trying to finally get a kill onto the Spongy, but they're not going to be able to land it. The Tech-9s and Glocks come by anyway, and Alexis finds that kill. Refrag does come out from Skinwalker, but it's not going to be enough, and now over towards Heaven. They are all alone. Finding Ragoon will get that kill. Has to find 3 more, though. The question is, are they going to be able to do it?
They have a kit at least, and a bit of time to work with. Aware of one. Oh, a couple more shots to find, and it's an awkward situation. The flash doesn't get them, but Kian, the dependable, is not so in this situation. Time's ticking down, but they're running with their knife, and Nadia will close things down. Damn, Tribal Esports, you give me hope, and it's just snatched away. Goats, they're moving to the Sorry, I lost words there. Penultimate point of the map. One more round to win before they claim a victory.
Why are you running with the knife? Tribal Esports, I liked it. They had answers, but they just didn't have that defining X factor in that round. Again, you have Goats, you have these players, they clearly know their gunfights, they're clearly confident, and they have the close range weapons to back things up, getting kill after kill. They know they can be refragged, so they're not really stressed. There it is, the Negev is making its dreaded voice known. And as the Nova's also going to be joining us in this round, Nadia and Kian will both get a kill onto the board so far. A 3 versus 5, and now Tribal Esports staring down the barrel of that match ending. They're going to have to look at how do they readjust their team? How do they reposition? Do they keep that player towards A, or do they all drop towards B, expecting that rotate? Spongy moving forward will be caught by Maroy. The refrag is there, the utility goes down, and the plant seems inevitable. And most importantly, so does the end of that game. Solly taken away, and now Skinwalker over towards Toilets with the MP7 is going to be left all alone. Long range going up against the AK, it's just not going to happen. Kian cleans things up, and the Goats will get a 13-1 victory. So there you have it, Gemma. That's week 1 of season 9 Welsh Esports League. That's done. That's it.
Yeah, it's one for the history books. We've never quite seen 2 13-0s in a row, and we're still not going to see it. Maybe next week, we'll have to see. That is one of the sets of games in WELL that we've had in a very long time. Unfortunately, if you're a Tribal Esports or what was the other team? I'm losing it. The Robins, that's a go. If you're a Robins fan, it's not your week, but you know what? If we're carrying on with current trends, then maybe one of them will 13-0 each other. I have to wait and see for the following weeks coming forward. But that is going to be it from us today. I hope you have enjoyed these games, and I think this is just a great endorsement for getting involved. You know, even if you're not coming out here to be the most serious team in the world, you can still come in with some mates, just have some fun, pull some of the Gevs out. Why not? It's a great initiative to get involved with. Even if CS isn't your game, you know, there's plenty of other things to get involved with. So Muhcreedy, I hope you enjoyed your return to CS. It was certainly an interesting set of games, but I'm looking forward to seeing how the games move forward, and what you reckon of things, how they look, at least when they come to fruition.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very nice intro. It was very, I say, gentle one as well. I mean, it's maps that I've seen and I've played and killed before, so it's like, okay, I know what's going on a little bit. I know roughly how these kind of things play out. Again, though, I think for Robins, I think there's a lot to take from that first map that you can look at. It's the attitude they take moving forward. You know, are they going to like get them down? No. If I'm in their team, if I'm in their Discord or their TeamSpeak or whatever it is, if I'm there, I'm saying that's the hardest game done. What did we learn about it? How are we going to win the next couple? You know, things like that. If I'm looking from the tribal esports position, I'm thinking exactly the same. Let's get that's out the way now. What can we move forward with from this? We don't have to take this as just a face value loss. There were good things in these games that from the losing sides that I really want to see them continue with. So how do they do that? But yeah, nice welcoming back into CS2. Very nice to do it with the Esports Wales crew as well again. And that is going to be ourselves for the evening jammer because, like you say, that is just the 2 games that we've started with. We are going to be back next week in the same place, same location, same time. So make sure you don't miss it. But for now, enjoy the rest of your evening.